Jai Guruji. Anandam Shukrana Guruji for blessing us with this beautiful seva of reading as well as listening to the Holy Shivpuran. Let's begin for the synopsis of the last week. Last week we read chapter 40 of Rudra Samhita section 5. In this we read that there was a fierce battle between Lord Shiva and Shankachura, and this battle continued for about 100 years, and the heaven and earth shook because of this battle. Now Shankachura tried various ways of destroying Lord Shiva, and then Lord Shiva grabbed his trident and attacked Shankachura in the chest. From the chest of Shankachura appeared a huge valorous being, and Lord Shiva severed the head of this being and it fell on the ground. In the meantime, Kali and the Bhairavas, the Ganas, Veerabhadra, Kshetrapala, all of them destroyed the major portion of Shankachura's army, and this made Shankachura extremely furious. So he challenged Lord Shiva, and there was a huge battle between them. He tried many different ways to destroy Lord Shiva, including illusion, and ultimately Lord Shiva seized his trident, and just as he was about to attack Shankachura, there was a celestial voice that prevented Lord Shiva from hitting Shankachura. This voice reminded Lord Shiva about the writings of Brahma in the Vedas, how Brahma had written that Shankachura will not age and will not die as long as he wears the armor of Lord Vishnu and as long as his wife maintains fidelity. So the voice then requested Lord Shiva to make this true, and Lord Shiva agreed. So in the meantime, what Lord Vishnu did was he disguised himself as an old Brahmin, and he approached Shankachura, and he told him that he was the supplier of the armor of the protective armor, and asked Shankachura to return it. And Shankachura gave the armor to Lord Vishnu, who had disguised himself as an old Brahmin. Then Vishnu took the guise of Shankachura and approached Shankachura's wife Tulsi and outraged her modesty, all for the protection of gods. Now after this happened, Shankachura approached Lord Shiva without his protective armor, and Lord Shiva seized his trident, which was called Vijaya, and this was as refulgent as thousands and crores of suns, and then he hurled this trident at Shankachura. The trident whirled around Shankachura's head and finally fell on his head, burning him to ashes. And this, of course, brought jubilation all around as Shankachura was slain by Lord Shiva. There was a continuous shower of flowers on Lord Shiva, and all the gods praised him. Shankachura was, freed from his curse, and he, attained his original form. From his bones became conchs, and these conchs were used all over the world. The conchs were made only from Shankachura bones, and water from these conchs is considered sacred except for Lord Shiva. And also Lord Shiva returned back to Shivaloka joyously along with Parvati, his Ganas, as well as Kartikeya. And all the other gods also went back to their respective abodes, and the world regained order. Today we will read further. We read chapter 41, that is the curse of Tulsi. We have English as well as Hindi reading. English reading will be done by Deepika Aunty, and Hindi reading will be done by Raja Aunty. Enjoy the readings for today. Jai Guruji, Shukrana Guruji. If you're also interested in participating in the readings, you can reach out to Seema Aunty or Rashmi Aunty or me. Jai Guruji.
Jai Guruji, Shukrana Guruji, I feel highly blessed today to have this wonderful opportunity once again to read Shivpuran. I'm reading chapter 41, section 5, the curse of Tulsi. Vyas said, "How did the Lord Narayana manage to deposit his semen in the vaginal passage of Tulsi? Please narrate the same. Shankchura said, Sanat Kumar said, Narayana is the person who carries on the task of the gods. He is the goal of the good. It was in the guise of Shankchura that he indulged in sexual dalliance with his wife. Listen to the story of Vishnu that caused delight, the story of Vishnu who acts at the behest of Shiva and Parvati, the mother of the worlds. On hearing the aerial voice in the course of the war and urged by Lord Shiva, Vishnu carried off the excellent armor of Shankchura, assuming the guise of a Brahmin, rapidly by having recourse to his Maya. He then assumed the guise of Shankchura and went to Tulsi's palace. Very near the entrance to Tulsi's palace, he caused the drum Dundabi to be beaten and cries of victory to be raised. He thus made the beautiful woman wake up. On hearing it, that chaste lady was highly delighted. Eagerly she peeped through the window into the highway. Knowing that her husband had returned, she observed all auspicious rites and offered monetary gifts to the Brahmins. She then beautified herself. After descending from the chariot, Vishnu, who assumed the guise of Shankchura by deceptive art for the sake of carrying out the task of the gods, went to the apartment of the queen. On seeing her husband come before her, she became delighted. She washed his feet, bowed to him, and cried. She made him sit on the gem-set throne of great beauty. She handed him the auspicious betel leaf rendered fragrant with camphor. It is today that my life has become fruitful, since I see my beloved lover, who had gone to fight back in the abode again. Saying so, glancing at him with ogling eyes and smiling face, she sweetly asked him about the events at the battlefield. Tulsi said, O Lord, how did you fare in the battle with Shiva, who renders help to the gods? You had gone to fight Shiva, who is the foremost of the gods, who is the annihilator of innumerable universes, whose behests are strictly adhered to and carried out by Vishnu, Brahma, and other gods. Always who is the progenitor of the three deities, who is the soul of three attributes, who being devoid of attributes put on the form of attributes at the request and wish of the devotees, who makes Vishnu and Brahma work, who assumed the form of Shiva, the resident of Kailasha, at the request of Kubera, who is the lord of Ganas, the supreme Brahman, the goal of the good. In a single moment, according to whose calculation, 1,000,000,000 cosmic worlds undergo destruction, and in whose minutest time many Vishnus, Brahmas, and others pass away. It is with such a Shiva that you had gone to fight. You have happily returned after defeating him, the great Lord. How did you win? Please mention that to me. On hearing these words of Tulsi, Vishnu, the Lord of Lakshmi, who had assumed the guise of Shankchura, laughed and spoke sweet words to her. Lord Vishnu said, When I, fond of war, reached the battleground, there was a great tumult. A great battle ensued. There ensued the battle between the gods and the Danavas, both desiring victory. The Daityas were defeated by the gods, who were proud of their strength. Then I fought with the powerful gods. The gods defeated by me sought refuge in Shiva. In order to help them, Shiva came to fight. Proud of strength, I fought with him for a long time. My dear wife, We fought continuously for a year. O lovely woman, all the asuras were destroyed. Brahma made us come to a peace. At the bidding of Brahma, the powers of authority were reassigned to the gods. I have returned home. Shiva has returned to Shivloka. Everyone has resumed health and normalcy. The torment has receded. After saying this, the Lord of the Worlds lay down on his bed. Then out of joy, Vishnu indulged in sexual intercourse. That lady began to suspect on observing a change in her happiness, endearment, and attraction, and asked him, "Who are you? Who are you? Tell me quickly. I have been enjoyed by you deceptively. My modesty has been outraged. Hence I am going to curse you." On hearing the words of Tulsi, Vishnu became afraid of the curse. O Brahmin, sportively he reassumed his own real beautiful form. On seeing the characteristic signs, she guessed that it was Vishnu. Infuriated by the violation of her chastity, Tulsi said, "O Vishnu, you are ruthless. Your mind is like a rock. Since my chastity has been outraged, my husband is doomed. O wicked one, being ruthless, you are like a rock. Hence, due to my curse, you will become a rock. Those who call you ocean of mercy are erring, there is no doubt. How was a devotee killed for another man's sake, even without any offense?" Sanat Kumar said, after saying this, the chaste beloved of Sankhchura, Tulsi, lamented again and again in the excess of her grief. On seeing her crying, Vishnu remembered Lord Shankara, Param Shiva, by whom the universe is deluded. Then Shankara, favorably disposed to his devotees, appeared in front of them. He was bowed to and eulogized humbly by Vishnu. On seeing Vishnu distressed and the beloved lady lamenting, Shiva, kind to the poor, tactfully enlightened both of them. Shiva said, "O Tulsi, do not cry. Everyone reaps the fruit of his actions. In the world that is an ocean of actions and rights, there is no external entity that bestows happiness and sorrow. Listen to what is relevant to the context to get rid of misery. Let Vishnu of good intentions too listen. I shall mention what is beneficent to both and conducive to happiness. O gentle lady, penance had been performed by you. The fruit thereof has been attained now. How can it be otherwise? Cast off this body, take up a divine body, and indulgence in dalliance with Vishnu forever. Be equal unto Lakshmi. The body that you cast off shall become a river in Bharata. That will be a sacred river, famous as Gandaki. O great lady, as a boon granted by me, Tulsi, holy basil, will be the most important constituent of the materials of worship of the gods sometime. In heaven, earth, and the nether worlds, you will become the Tulsi plant, more excellent than flowers. As the presiding deity of the plant, you shall assume a divine form and shall forever sport in secret with Vishnu. The presiding deity of the river in Bharata, the consort of the briny sea and highly meritorious, shall be a part of Vishnu. As a result of your curse, Hari shall assume the form of a rock on the banks of the river Gandaki and shall preside on the same in Bharata. Crores of terrible sharp-toothed germs shall penetrate and erode the rock and carve rings on it. Those pieces shall be known as Shalagrama rocks and will be meritorious. Differentiated by the rings, they shall be known as Lakshmi Narayana, etc. O Vishnu, salagram stone shall signify your contact with Tulsi. Similar in appearance, they shall increase in merit. O gentle lady, if anyone plucks the leaves of Tulsi lying on Salagrama, he will be separated from his wife in the next birth. If anyone plucks Tulsi leaves without using conch, he will become a widower and a chronic patient for 7 births. He who keeps Salagrama, Tulsi and Shankh in one place shall become wise and a favorite of Vishnu. You have been the beloved of Shankachura for the period of Manavtara. Your separation from Shankchura is really painful to you. Sanat Kumar said, after saying so, Shiva narrated the greatness of Shalagrama stone and Tulsi, that is highly meritorious. After delighting Vishnu and Tulsi, Shiva, the benefactor of the good, vanished from there and went to his abode. On hearing the words of Shiva, Tulsi was delighted. She cast off that body and assumed a divine form. The Lord of Lakshmi went to Vaikuntha with her. Immediately the river Gandaki took its origin from her cast-off body. On its banks Vishnu became a mountain, conferring merit on men. O sage, germs make different kinds of holes therein. The pieces that fall into the water are highly meritorious. Those that remain on the dry land are known as pingalas. They are harmful. Thus I have narrated everything in accordance with your inquiry. The story of Shiva is meritorious and bestows all cherished desires on men. This narrative has been made in detail intermingled with the greatness of Vishnu. It confers worldly pleasures and salvation. What is it that you wish to hear further? This concludes the English reading of Shivpuran chapter 41. Now I invite Auntie to read Hindi. Sorry, I forgot her name. Jai Guruji, Shukrana Guruji.
जय गुरु जी, शुक्राना गुरु जी। चैप्टर 41 विष्णु द्वारा तुलसी के शील हरण का वर्णन। कुपित हुई तुलसी द्वारा विष्णु को शाप, शंभु द्वारा तुलसी और शालग्राम शिला के महात्म का वर्णन। फिर व्यास जी के पूछने पर सनत कुमार जी ने कहा, महर्षि, रणभूमि में आकाशवाणी को सुनकर जब देवेश्वर शंभु ने श्री हरि को प्रेरित किया, तब वे तुरंत ही अपनी माया से ब्राह्मण का वेश धारण करके शंखचूड़ के पास जा पहुँचे और उन्होंने उससे परमोत्कृष्ट कवच मांग लिया। फिर शंखचूड़ का रूप बनाकर वे तुलसी के घर की ओर चले। वहां पहुंचकर उन्होंने तुलसी के महल के द्वार के निकट नगाड़ा बजाया और जय जयकार से सुंदरी तुलसी को अपने आगमन की सूचना दी। उसे सुनकर सती साध्वी तुलसी ने बड़े आदर के साथ झरोखे के रास्ते राजमार्ग की ओर झांका और अपने पति को आया हुआ जानकर वह परमानंद में निमग्न हो गई। उसने तत्काल ही ब्राह्मणों को धन दान करके उनसे मंगलाचार कराया और फिर अपना श्रृंगार किया। इधर देवताओं का कार्य सिद्ध करने के लिए माया से शंखचूड़ का स्वरूप धारण करने वाले भगवान विष्णु रथ से उतरकर देवी तुलसी के भवन में गए। तुलसी ने पति रूप में आए हुए भगवान का पूजन किया, बहुत सी बातें की, तदंतर उनके साथ रमण किया। तब उस साध्वी ने सुख, सामर्थ्य और आकर्षण में व्यतिक्रम देखकर सब पर विचार किया और संदेह उत्पन्न होने पर वह, तू कौन है, यूं डांटती हुई बोली। तुलसी ने कहा, दुष्ट, मुझे शीघ्र बतला कि माया द्वारा मेरा उपभोग करने वाला तू कौन है। तूने मेरा सतीत्व नष्ट कर दिया, अति मैं तुझे अभी शाप देती हूँ। सनत कुमार जी कहते हैं, ब्राह्मण, तुलसी का वचन सुनकर श्री हरि ने लीलापूर्वक अपनी परम मनोहर मूर्ति धारण कर ली। तब उस रूप को देखकर तुलसी ने लक्षणों से पहचान लिया कि ये साक्षात विष्णु ही हैं। परंतु उसका पातिव्रत्य नष्ट हो चुका था, इसलिए वह कुपित होकर विष्णु से कहने लगी। तुलसी ने कहा, हे विष्णु, तुम्हारा मन पत्थर के सदृश कठोर है, तुम में दया का लेश मात्र भी नहीं है। मेरे पति धर्म के भंग हो जाने से निश्चय ही मेरे स्वामी मारे गए। चूंकि तुम पाषाण सदृश कठोर, दया रहित और दुष्ट हो, इसलिए अब तुम मेरे शाप से पाषाण स्वरूप ही हो जाओ। सनत कुमार जी कहते हैं, मुने, यूं कहकर शंखचूड़ की वह सती साधी पत्नी तुलसी फूट फूट कर रोने लगी और शोकार्त होकर उससे बहुत तरह से विलाप करने लगी। इतने में भक्तवत्सल भगवान शंकर प्रकट हो गए और उन्होंने समझाकर कहा, देवी, आप तुम दुख को दूर करने वाली मेरी बात सुनो और श्री हरि भी स्वस्थ मन से उसे श्रवण करें, क्योंकि तुम दोनों के लिए ये सुख कारक होगा। वही मैं कहूँगा। भद्रे, तुमने जिस मनोरथ को लेकर तप किया था वह उसी तपस्या का फल है। भला वह अन्यथा कैसे हो सकता है? इसलिए तुम्हें उसके अनुरूप ही फल प्राप्त हुआ है। अब तुम इस शरीर को त्याग कर दिव्य रूप दे धारण कर लो और लक्ष्मी के समान होकर नित्य श्री हरि के साथ वैकुंठ में विहार करती रहो। तुम्हारा ये शरीर जिसे तुम छोड़ दोगी नदी के रूप में परिवर्तित हो जाएगा। वह नदी भारतवर्ष में पुण्य रूपा गंडकी के नाम से प्रसिद्ध होगी। महादेवी, कुछ काल के लिए पश्चात मेरे वर के प्रभाव से देव पूजन सामग्री में तुलसी का प्रधान स्थान हो जाएगा। सुंदरी, तुम स्वर्ग लोक में, मृत्यु लोक में तथा पाताल में सदा श्री हरि के निकट ही निवास करोगी और पुष्पों में श्रेष्ठ तुलसी का वृक्ष हो जाओगी। तुम वैकुंठ में दिव्य रूप धारणी वृक्षाधिष्ठात्री देवी बनकर सदा एकांत में श्री हरि के साथ क्रीड़ा करोगी। उधर भारतवर्ष में जो नदियों की अधिष्ठात्री हो देवी होगी, वह परम पुण्य प्रदान करने वाली होगी और श्री हरि के अंशभूत लवण सागर की पत्नी बनेगी। तथा श्री हरि भी तुम्हारे शापवश पत्थर का रूप धारण करके भारत में गंडकी नदी के जल के निकट निवास करेंगे। वहां तीखी दाढ़ों वाले करोड़ों भयंकर कीड़े उस पत्थर को काटकर उसके मध्य में चक्र का आकार बनाएंगे। उसके भेद से वह अत्यंत पुण्य प्रदान करने वाली शालग्राम शिला कहलाएगी और चक्र के भेद से उसका लक्ष्मी नारायण आदि भी नाम होगा। विष्णु की शालग्राम शिला और वृक्ष स्वरूपनी तुलसी का समागम सदा अनुकूल तथा बहुत प्रकार के पुण्यों की वृद्धि करने वाला होगा। भद्रे, जो शालग्राम शिला के ऊपर से तुलसी पत्र को दूर करेगा उससे जन्मांतर में स्त्री वियोग की प्राप्ति होगी, तथा जो शंख को दूर करके तुलसी पत्र को हटाएगा वह भी भार्यहीन होगा और 7 जन्मों तक रोगी बना रहेगा। जो महाज्ञानी पुरुष शालग्राम शिला, तुलसी और शंख को एकतर रखकर उनकी रक्षा करता है वह श्री हरि का प्यारा होता है। सनत कुमार जी कहते हैं, व्यास जी, इस प्रकार कहकर शंकर जी ने उस समय शाल ग्राम शिला और तुलसी के परम पुण्यदायक महात्म्य का वर्णन किया। तत्पश्चात वे श्री हरि को तथा तुलसी को आनंदित करके अंतर्ध्यान हो गए। इस प्रकार सदा पुरुषों का कल्याण करने वाले शंभु अपने स्थान को चले गए। इधर शंभु का कथन सुनकर तुलसी को बड़ी प्रसन्नता हुई। उसने अपने उस शरीर का परित्याग करके दिव्य रूप धारण कर लिया। तब कमलापति विष्णु उसे साथ लेकर वैकुंठ को चले गए। उसके छोड़े हुए शीर से गंडकी नदी प्रकट हो गई और भगवान अच्युत भी उसके तट पर मनुष्यों को पुण्य प्रदान करने वाली शिला के रूप में परिणित हो गए। मुने, तो उसमें कीड़े अनेक प्रकार के छिद्र बनाते रहते हैं। उनमें जो शिलाएं गंडकी के जल में गिरती हैं वे परम पुण्यप्रद होती हैं और जो स्थल पर ही रह जाती है उन्हें पिंगला कहा जाता है और वे प्राणियों के लिए संताप कारक होती हैं। व्यास जी, इस प्रकार तुम्हारे प्रश्न के अनुसार मैंने शंभु का सारा चरित्र जो पुण्य प्रदान तथा मनुष्यों की सारी कामनाओं को पूर्ण करने वाला है तुम्हें सुना दिया। ये पुण्य आख्यान जो विष्णु के माध्यम से संयुक्त तथा भोग और मोक्ष का प्रदाता है उस तुमसे वर्णन कर दिया। और अब क्या सुनना चाहते हो? अध्याय 41 समाप्त। जय गुरु जी। थैंक यू गुरु जी।